Hi everybody, Aunt Blabby here for another episode of Aunt Blabby's Garden. Today we're doing garlic. Today's episode should be a little different than usual. I've already harvested a lot of the garlic. I'm coming back into the garden to harvest some more. We take a trowel to loosen the earth around the garlic bulb so that we don't bruise it, trying to break off the stem, trying to get it up. We loosen the earth and we pull up our bulbs of garlic. And that one's not too bad a size. We didn't get a lot of big ones this time. We had that planting in the snow thing going on last fall, and then we had all that rain in winter. Oh, look at that one. There's a beauty. So we had all the rain in spring, rather, and they start to turn yellow, so we despaired of getting anything. But things picked up in the garden. Weather improved. Things got better, and at least we got something. So even if most of them are small, and they are, we're going to be grateful for what we got. So today we're going to braid garlic. I hope I got that set okay. And what we've done is taken, there's a couple of things I want to show you first. I missed some garlic scapes. You know how I said you got to pick the scapes off, cut the scapes off, or you wind up with the energy going into the seed pod rather than into the bulb. Well, that happened to a couple of them, and that's why some of them are small. And there's what the seed pod looks like when it gets bigger, because I forgot to cut off the scape. I just wanted to show you, because you get your seed out of that for garlic. Rather than planting cloves, you can plant from seed. Also, I wanted to show you the seed of the, now it's all over my table, of the chives. I didn't do anything with my chive blossoms this year. Sometimes I make a vinegar out of them by putting them in a sterilized jar, bringing some white vinegar to a boil and putting it in the jar. And that makes a nice chive flavored vinegar, a nice beautiful mauve color too. But this year I didn't do anything like that. I chose not to, and so these blossoms are all dried now. And what's inside them, of course, is seed. Let's get rid of the fluff. And you see the black, those are seeds, chive seeds. So this is how, when you're growing, this is how you perpetuate your garden, is to let some things go to seed and then keep the seeds and dry them and then plant them the next spring or in the fall if it's appropriate to plant the item in the fall. And that's how you, like I say, perpetuate your garden. So I wanted to show you those things first. Now what we're going to do is we're going to take some garlic bulbs, and you see how small some of them are. They're just the cutest buttons. So look at little tiny cloves. You can see the little tiny cloves of garlic. And we're going to braid them. Now you just braid them like by taking 3 cloves, like if you were braiding a kid's hair. And I guess it doesn't have to be a kid's hair, except that adults very often do fancier braids. And this is just your basic, Anna of Green Gables, braid those pigtails, braid. So then we just tie with string. I just use ordinary string like this, cut a piece off, tie the bottom together with the string, and then braid. I won't bore you too much with this, because I went ahead and did some. Although once you get going, you kind of don't want to stop. It's just a funny thing about braiding. Anyway, we'll set that aside. And you see that I've done one here, it's tied at the bottom and at the top, and I've left some unbraided so that I can turn it and tie it that way to make a handle to hang it from a hook in the ceiling. And that's exactly what I've done by putting 3 like that together. Mosquitoes. By putting 3 like that together, and just see what I've got here. And I've just tied it again with the string, wound it all around very tightly, okay? And put that loop at the top so that I can hang it. Now, not everybody braids it the same way I do. And I have 2 words of advice for you, okay? 2 pieces of advice. Tie the string really, really tight, because of course as it dries, the stems will loosen. they do. They get smaller, and so the whole thing will loosen. You'll be standing there in your kitchen cooking one evening, and all of a sudden you'll get bonked on the head, and you'll look up and you'll get bonked in the face by a bulb of garlic. It's not an entirely unpleasant sensation, but something you really don't want to happen, I guess anyway, having garlic flying around in your kitchen. So yeah, so tie it tight, hang it on a hook on your ceiling and let it dry that way. It works out great. Second piece of advice, never let Aunt Blabby braid your hair. No, not that good at it. You see, it's not that, I mean, it's okay, but it's not going to win any awards for my braiding. So there you go. There you are. Let's take a little walk around the garden before we have our cards. I just got a little bit more garlic to pick. You see how you pick it when it turns brown and the leaves start to dry out. And I got lots of bulbs to go. Let's go over here. I was worried about having enough barrage this year. Oh, look at it all loaded with it, and I've let it kind of take over because lamb's quarters, because why not? I was worried about having any, and peppers are growing anyway. They seem fine. See, we got the nice purple peppers here, and what else we got growing here? Well, they're coming along, sure, I'm fine. The ones next to the barrage are doing the best, isn't that funny? Okay, and look at all the tomatoes. Loads of tomatoes. Boy, are we gonna make sauces this fall. Unless anything drastic happens. We got some black-eyed Susans over here and some lovely flowers in the corner of the garden. There's some echinacea there. The memorial garden is doing just fine. The main garden's doing good. Hubby did some weeding for me and pulled half the onions up, but that's okay. And okay, so more tomatoes there, some funny looking peppers there, lots of kale coming along, see? And yeah, lots of stuff it's getting a little wild. Did you notice that? Me too. It's that time of year. It's hard to keep up with the weeding because it just all gets a little wild, but that's okay. Our crops are coming along, they're doing well. So we're going to be grateful for that. Okay, the tiger lilies are just about finished. Still got some that haven't even come out yet. There's more echinacea here. And look at that green apple on the apple tree over there, and another one. Can you see it from here with this camera? There are some green apples on the tree. And look at all the blossoms on the thistle. And the bees playing on them. Ha. So let's go have our cards. Just a quick tour today. Goldenrod's coming out, see that? Isn't that gorgeous? So let's go have our cards. Next episode, I'm thinking of making a tincture for us. Okay. This week I'm using the Earth Magic Oracle deck. So let's I'm going to draw 3 cards. I'm just asking the universe for the energy of the garden and the energy of the garden of life, in a bigger sense. Not just my garden, everybody's garden. Okay, interesting cards. Well, this is always a good card. This is lotus flower. Yeah, lotus flower. Cap there for a second. But this is about unfoldment, of course, and this is about whether or not we're aware of it. We're always gaining enlightenment with whatever happens in our lives, the good and the bad, the yin and the yang. We gather new information. We gather deeper feeling about some things. We learn more in a deeper sense, not just filling our heads with too much information, which is happening a lot these days in the information age, but actually taking in deeper more meaningful feeling about things. This is true enlightenment, and it's always happening, whether or not we're aware of it. And this is just the universe assuring us that even when bad things happen, or especially actually when bad things happen, this is when we learn. This is insightful for us. Okay. Next card, the Green Man, and this is perfect for gardening. This is perfect for the garden of life as well as the garden. And yeah, this is about synergy, about things being in balance, about things going our way, nature helping us out, the universe being behind us, having our back. So this is great. This is great energy, and that always good news to see that, especially when you're asking about garden things. The third card is a Milky Way, and this is about perspective. And this isn't necessarily a good card. This is about losing our way when it comes to perspective. Like, we get too bogged down in the bad news of the day. So many bad things happening here and there, and we kind of get really saddened by it, and we get kind of emotionally bogged down by it. And this is about keeping our perspective. This is about celebrating the balance of our garden. The best thing we can do for the world is to look after ourselves, to get enough rest, to be there for the people who love us and that we love. And that's the best thing that we can do, the most positive thing that we can do for the world right now. And so it's reminding us, don't lose our perspective. Okay, keep the perspective, keep it positive as you can. Regardless of what's happening, all things are enlightening. All things. Okay, great energy. Great energy. Keep our perspective. So, with that, next week I'm hoping again to maybe make a tincture. So I hope you'll drop in then, and I hope you enjoy this one now. And remember, Aunt Blabby says you're the bee's knees, and don't let anybody tell you any different. See ya.